It's time to take command with former NFL tight end Logan Paulsen and former Commanders beat reporter Craig Hoffman.
Take 5, the 5-minute version of Take Command. I'm Craig Hoffman. He is Logan Paulsen, and we put our focus today, Logan, on Jahan Dotson's performance. He has one target, he dropped it, and that unfortunately has been kind of what his season has been. A couple of drops, not a lot of production, and this is pretty stunning for us because we thought he was going to lead the team in receptions.
Yeah.
He had a great training camp. What do you see when you watch the tape as to why Jahan can't seem to get going through 6 games?
Yeah, I mean, this is not going to be super insightful, but he drops that ball. That's probably a touchdown, and it's probably like a 40-yard gain. So there's that play, and then there's a play that Sam doesn't throw him the football where we think he's open on a dig. That's another probably 25. So you're looking at a day like realistically where it could have been 2 catches for 75 yards and a touchdown. You're kind of like, well, that's not bad. So yeah. I think there's a little bit of that going on, like some of these drops come in at bad times, you know what I mean? Like where he could do some stuff with the ball after the catch at a big chunk play. And then you're not talking about it in the same context, I think. Also, like Sam with the pressures, with some of the concepts, like he's not making throws that he probably should make. And I also think that there's a little bit of Jahan figuring out like the timing of the offense. There's times where I see that. And again, I'm probably projecting this, something I need to ask him about, or, talk to somebody who knows him about. I just feel like there's times where I'm like, you need to be 2 steps ahead of where you are in this zone right here to get this ball. And I understand you ran a really good route, but it just took a little too long, or the stem wasn't quite right. And that's a new player and a new offense. Like, I hate to say it, but those things happen more often than you'd like to admit. Because I don't think there's like a concerted effort at the moment to like get him the ball, if that makes sense. Like he is part of the offense in the same way that like Terry was part of the offense earlier this season. Like if the read takes me to you, you will get the ball. If not, like you're just running a route like everybody else. And so I think there's a little bit of that going on, but also like he's got to make more plays. And I think if he makes more plays, I think the quarterback's going to be more confident in him and he's going to get more opportunities. So I think it's a little bit of all of those things kind of working together at the moment. And again, he might, something might be going on. He might have an injury, whatever. But that's kind of my high level thought right now.
Yeah, when you watch him on tape, it's interesting because he's so smooth as an athlete. And you're like, is he trying? But he also is, he doesn't look like he's trying, but he's running real fast because that's Jahan Dotson as an athlete. He's just a smooth operator. Like that is what he is.
There you go.
But, there are times that he's kind of like, we talk about, he's such a great route runner and he can route somebody up. But like part of being a truly great route runner is the timing element. And there are times where I think some of the shake that he has and some of the, I'm going to set you up for this thing actually takes him out of the timing of the play where you're not super urgent off the line of scrimmage. And that's how he winds up 2 steps behind. And so it's like, I'm going to do my little hop, skip, release. And now I go. And then I route you up at the top. And it's like, you don't have time to do the skip release and the double stick. That's not going to work in the NFL because you're now at 3.4 seconds into the route and you need to be open at 2.8. Right. And so these are the kinds of things that we say he's a great route runner. He's got all the route running skills, but the timing, I think, is where when I watch it at least and try to keep an eye on him a little extra special, because obviously like you're not watching him a ton on the TV copy because the ball's not going to him, that I saw specifically in this Atlanta game where it's like, yeah, you're open, but not when you're supposed to be.
Right. I think I think to me that I kind of have the same thought. Like I like to think back to a couple games and like, man, split's probably a little too wide here to show up in the timing of the play. He's probably taking a stem too vertical to show up in the timing of the play. And that's kind of what we're talking about is the details to get those opportunities. And I will say, like being in the NFL, I was never like a high target guy or anything like that. But one of the most important things that I saw from the best guys that I played with, Julio, Santana, D-Hop, all those guys was like they understood and there was an urgency about how they played to get to a spot, especially in zone, and violently win to that area. Like Pierre is one that comes to mind. Like when he's running like a drift or a dig, like it's not like we're like kind of soft stepping off the line of scrimmage. He is sprinting to 10 yards, throwing his foot down, turning violently inside, and that ball's on him. It's just like that's how detailed. Like again, this is one of the things where like coaching high school football brings everything into stark focus. It's not the quarterback throwing people open; it's the receivers stressing coverage with their speed and urgency. And there's times where like that is not like it doesn't look like he understands that totally yet. And I think that's something that he can understand, and he's getting better at it each and every week. But that's something that I agree with you. Like there's a mindset, especially at the NFL level. Like go watch NFL practice. You've done it. It's like it's like the guys, they understand like I need to be here in 2 seconds to get this football, and I might be getting pressed, I might be getting rerouted, but if I want to get this ball, I need to be there. And you see guys like hunt, scratch, and claw to get there. And I think that's kind of something that I think maybe I don't know. I got to talk to him that I would say like he could be better at.
Yeah. I've told this story before, but I don't know if I've told it on this pod, but like talking to Randall Cobb a couple of years ago about this, like dude who played quarterback in college. And he said, like, I understand if I'm the 1 or 2 read in a concept, like I have to bust my ass to be where I need to be. Right. If I'm the third, I don't want to necessarily do that, because if I'm there too early, then, at that time he's playing with Aaron in Green Bay, like, and Aaron gets to me and I'm like, it's too early, then that's not good. I need to uncover when I'm supposed to uncover. And that's something that takes years at times to work. The other thing I would say, though, is I do hope that in a game with more plays and more opportunities, EB can find an easy way, almost a predetermined way to get the ball in Jahan's hands. And I would try to get him a touch or two early too in this next game. Like try to build his confidence, try to get him to feel the game a little bit, because if it's about rhythm and feeling the game, like let's get the guy involved in the game. Yeah. And that's the kind of thing that, in a game with 50 plays and you do that with Terry, I'd rather do it with Terry than Jahan, but hopefully they can be a little bit more efficient and both can get involved, and you get those guys touches early and go from there. Sure. All right, that is take 5. We will see you tomorrow for a full offensive breakdown, full defensive breakdown. It is tape breakdown day on Take Command. If you like this podcast, subscribe wherever you're listening right now, wherever you're watching right now, and we'll see you tomorrow for a big, long, full edition. Thanks for watching this clip of Take Command. First, why don't you like it? It lets other people know that it was good, and then they should watch it too. And Logan, we have a new exclusive home for full episodes.
We do. 1067 The Fans YouTube page. Go check it out and please subscribe.
Yeah, do what Logan said.
Do it.
Very, very smart.